spawning in on the main screen, I am a wizard. We have Admiral General and his ally, Quizbico, who are playing as Team Cheese and Puns. And their opponents, now down a match in this best of 3. Can they bring it back? It is Burnt Custard from Team Realm and Andreas G, also from Team Realm. Both teams basically going identical. Yes, both teams going completely identical and just kind of doing what they do best, getting that early game up. So I can see this going one of two ways. I can see this going 2 ways. Okay, yeah, let's try and rephrase this. Now, we saw a very solid multi-naval match, but we also saw, if you remember in the previous match, we saw that the naval for Quizbico and Admiral General wasn't there in their back little base area. They just didn't build it. They almost completely forgot about it. Now, obviously, there will be one player completely dedicated to it, and we'll have to see how they do against that. But if they're not as cautious and aware as they are, or as they were last game, then I'm very concerned for them, because that's gonna be a big deal. Now, we do see some piranhas, moving on their way out, trying to just look around, figure out what's going on. We do see some torpedo launchers already up, so everyone both teams, just kind of playing it out as is very standard. I mean, we have literally an identical opening right now, which is, it's always kind of cool to see which one kind of opens up faster. And I think there's like a half-second advantage. Oh my god, it's like watching docks fight. And yeah, piranhas are just shooting piranhas right now. It's the sea docks versus the land docks, and some air units around just to kind of bother everyone. There we go. So we're gonna. It's gonna be very important to kind of. Wow, there is just. Oh my goodness. This seems like it's an independently microed unit. This seems like it's an independently microed unit. These two seem to be going everywhere. I mean, these units seem like they're acting on their own, which is so cool to see. I mean, there's just tiny, minute, micro decisions going on right now. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to throw this into the main puddle back here, or the main ocean, just so that you guys can kind of keep an eye on it. We'll just kind of see it if anything important happens, but obviously this is going to be the main focal point of contention. It doesn't look like either team is really trying to capture this, which in my opinion, I think that tells Blue, who have 2 docks here, that they should probably try and get something from it. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing with naval, right? It's a very pancakey kind of game, and what I mean by that is, so first you start off with, docks, then you get air, and then you counter that with naval, and then you counter that with anti-air and torpedoes, and then you counter that with tier 2, and then you counter that tier 2 with orbital, and then you counter that orbital with like nukes and catapults, and you counter the and umbrellas. It keeps stacking and stacking, and usually the first person that goes tier 2 naval usually has a very commanding lead until their opponent gets that tier 2 naval. Not because the other team is bad, it's just the capabilities of tier 2 naval is so strong, especially Leviathans. It is absurd how much damage they can put out. And then the next step becomes orbital, and how much orbital you can put out, like SSX, Omegas. You think it's crazy, I have seen it. And we'll just have to see how that plays out. Now, White has completely scouted this island, and I would really like to see them try to capture some of this island just for themselves. Send these air fabricators over, capture this, capture this stuff that is immediately nearby, and they won't have to worry about it, because it's obvious that it doesn't look like Purple has really been trying to capture any of it. So that's a big deal. Now, the main island, we see a very large docks army that's just kind of staring down a not so large tank army, which these docks and sparks could easily overpower. Well, hang on, let's see. This is about an even mesh army now, so the tanks would be able to nullify it. We do see some combat. Oh, the combat fabrics now. That's a fantastic. I like this choice. You can see it in terms of economy. They're down on energy, which always sucks, but they are building tier 2. And yeah, the opponents aren't building tier 2 either, or not building tier 2. Energy kind of is in the pooper right now, but economically, though they have been losing a few metal extractors because of the combat fabrics, they keep jumping up and jumping up. And here's a thing about the tree economy. Yeah, if you see it, grab it, okay? Because the tree economy isn't something that will carry you, but in terms of identical economies and I say you have identical economies, identical productivity and resources. With the extra tree economy, it is like a nice little espresso shot to your economy's like strength to just, oh, I can now build another factory, and because I have these 4 combat fabrics constantly reclaiming trees, I can now afford to build tanks constantly. And now, though you had identical productivity, you are now up 1 on your opponent just because of tree economy. And you think it's Ghost, it's just 1 tank factory, whatever, man. Right now, tanks are the only thing that are protecting this commander, and let's pretend that one of them didn't exist. So this batch of tanks would be missing right now, yeah? In terms of productivity. That's a big deal. That is a big deal, especially if, let's say that there were boombots just kind of waiting. That's a big deal. Now, there are no skitters, and that's a big deal. Because these tanks, guess what they're going to right-click into? Yeah, that's right, landmines. And, oh, it's a bait. Oh, did they see it? Oh, no, they didn't see it. Oh, the explosions. This is Blue, well, not really Blue's time to strike, but that was what is known as an efficient trade, kids. That was beautiful. We do see Typhoons being built here, and I think these Barracudas might just accidentally, oh, no, they did see it. That's, okay, so they did see it, but oh my goodness, they're just building their tier 2 now. Okay, so Blue does recognize that there is a commander out in the water, and there isn't anything stopping this commander from pushing out, which is a very big deal, because that tells Purple that this area is ripe for the taking. Now, obviously they need to get the skitters and the right type of productivity to get it, but now that there's a Typhoon, I don't know how I feel about them getting Typhoons. I would have really preferred to see Leviathans. In my opinion, Leviathans, you scoot that guy right here, there is nothing that can touch him. And then you kind of work your way into actually killing their base. Now, we do see that Purple has taken quite a good bit of this ocean now. And economically, they are now ahead of Quizbico and Admiral General, which is a very big deal. Of course, always being above your opponent is a big deal. And staying at a higher efficiency rating is even bigger. Now, we do see 1 Typhoon now, but again, I would really, really, really like to see a Leviathan. I really do think that is the best choice in this position. I mean, you just scoot him over here. You put a couple of torpedo launchers in the way so that submarines can't touch him. And then what will Purple be able to do? That's just nothing. Now the thing is, the naval factory is still at 72% here for Purple. So again, they have had ample opportunity. We see another. Okay, yeah, there's the Leviathan. So that is being produced nice and slowly. 2 Typhoons. So I think they obviously had their own intentions for why they wanted to get 2 Typhoons out instead of just 1. But I seriously think that they should have gotten that first Leviathan out first. Because of how forward Andreas G and Burnt Custard are currently. And now with this factory almost done, by the time that this Leviathan gets to port, this factory will be up and will probably be about, I'm thinking about 75% done with their Leviathan by the time that becomes a thing. So we do see that the tier 2, the naval units are going to have to back out here. And Kaijus would be a cute little add-on too. Forget the tanks, put a Kaiju or 2 here. These tanks are never going to be able to get through. Piranhas, well, doing what Sea Dogs do best, and that's dying in droves. But I think Purple has actually quite successfully captured a lot of this map and have not fully contained, but kind of symbolically contained them. And that's even weirder to say, but you notice that they're not trying to attack this area. This is a very exposed area. They have Barracudas just waiting for them to kind of move in, but they're not attacking. A lot of subs moving in. This tier 2 is gone. Yeah. Bombers should have taken out that army. I don't know why they decided not to. They're going to now fly straight over this vehicle army, lose all of the bumblebees, and now the Leviathan that I would have preferred to see where it's supposed to be is now, well, it can't do anything. This commander is very exposed, and I think we just saw a return volley from the purple team to the blue team. Yes, you might have won the first round, but naval is our game to play, kid, and you cannot touch this area. This is our map. As we see, Well, it's just, I mean, there is just purple everywhere. I mean, this air army is just not able to do anything. The tier 2 is now up for the purple team, and they actually went Fabricator first because they feel that safe about using their units. Leviathan's right here. Okay, so where are you going, Sunshine? Because where you go pretty much dictates how the rest of this game is going to play out. If it should have gone for the main island, but it looks like the blue team has just decided to forfeit the main island, and they're going to just let it fall. Vehicles, I think you were a little late on that start there, friend. Sparks tanks and the whole lot trying to just stop this tank army from moving in. Not gonna happen. The torpedo launchers, ooh, goodness, are getting shredded. Torpedoes need to focus down that. Oh goodness, that's a big deal actually. These Barracudas are gonna do. Oh no, okay, so it finished, and it's gonna stay up. Nope, just barely. It does die. 2, 3 Barracudas are staying up. There is still a commander alive. That's the big thing, though. This commander, obviously a little on the tanky side. Yeah, I think, yeah, picking off these guys are probably the more valuable decision right now. Now, what I think he needs to do is get 3 or 4 subs, babysit the Leviathan, get 2 or 3 narwhals, babysit the Leviathan, and then have this guy just rampage through the purple economy. And then once they get the opportunity, just capture it behind them. Because right now, they're losing the main island, you know. And thankfully, this map has enough water on it that it's okay to back into the water. But if you're forced into the water, you're gonna have a bad time. There's just no other way. Leviathan is getting focused by torpedo launcher. That's not. Yeah, he's dead. Goodbye. Good night, sweet prince. So there goes what I would call the last hope for blue, as there's not much left. There really isn't much left for them. They've just kind of lost everything. So the kaiju, well, the kaiju's an option, you know. There isn't many. Well, no, there's these guys. So that's torpedo. The naval warfare, just kind of doing naval warfare, doing its job. Economically, we do see that Admiral General and Quizmico have actually taken an economic lead, interestingly enough. I think that may be because, you know, I really don't know why, because I would think that taking all that constant damage, they would have actually had a lower economy, but it appears they've done a fantastic job at, you know, staying strong. Now all they just need is energy, which is fantastic, and they're actually back at 100 or almost 100%, which is, I mean, that's fantastic, especially at a 14-minute match. They took some serious damage, and I really don't understand how they're going to get rid of this, but they've come back economically. Production-wise, I don't think they're there yet. This Kraken, oh my goodness, the destruction! Wow, that Kraken did its job, and it did its job well. Kaiju just kind of puddling through the water, just enjoying shooting at random miscellaneous objects. Leviathan is now being built here for the purple team, and I don't know. See, I don't really know, because most of Blue's army is underwater, and Leviathans can't shoot things, you know, underwater. So I'm very curious to see what they plan to do with the Leviathan, as if they do decide to, you know, just kind of come over here and then just try and work their way into the base. I think that's probably the best choice for them. These Krakens are just doing fantastic work. Purple realizing that these little islands need to be kind of taken care of, and I would assume that the Leviathan will probably take care of that once it is done. But we have a commander put. Well, no, where's he going? He's going to the main island, so he's gonna probably just defend these and maybe even get up some torpedo launchers, which would be a great choice. Kraken moving in to try and protect the commander, who is taking some serious damage. The commander will survive. He will survive, and as long as he has a life, he is gonna wonder why Purple decided to right-click into a Kraken, and I'm actually quite surprised that the Kraken can fit into that. That looks very shallow, but it looks like he is able to defend himself, so that's very important. Now, do we see the Kraken trying to maybe move over to, like, over here and then just nom 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 nom, you know, delicioso. Let's see. Well, let's see. We see aw, poor Kraken, or Kaiju, he's just like, no, stop! Don't do it to me, man! I'm having fun! I'm having fun just shooting metal extractors. That's the best part of the day. It's going to be the last part of the day. Big scuba gear group moving towards the main productivity of the blue army. And yeah, the commander needs to set up a lot of torpedo launchers right now. He needs to get that stuff going. We do see another Leviathan set up, and so it looks like the scuba gear or the Barracuda army for blue has actually. This is going to be actually a big deal, because that Kraken can just come up to the shore and just start unloading its missile barrage. That's a big deal. That really. They found the. Can they hit the commander? Oh, they can, but it's not enough damage to do anything. Well, actually, this is probably better for blue anyways, because picking off these units just kind of helps stem the main flow anyways. And yep, there's the Kraken. He's partially submerged in the sand, but hey, he's doing his job, so you know you can't tell him he's not a hard worker. And the Kraken actually is going to be kind of keeping things balanced. We do see a very slow tier 2 build of bots, so we will be probably seeing slammers. And economically, I don't know where Burnt Custard and Andreas G's economy is going, but it is slipping away. They have lost the main body of Ocean's water, and it's 417 to 171, and that economy game is really devastating. Yes, they are at 73% on point with the efficiency of Quizpico and Admiral General, but it's the amount that they're producing. That is the biggest cost to them right now. Another Leviathan is out for the blue team, and I really thought that they were going to have a bad time once they started losing this main island, but it looks like the blue team has just stayed calm and, you know, kept building metal extractors. So good for them. They are just doing what they do best. And you know, I thought we were going to have a round 3, but apparently I was wrong. Admiral General and Quizpico are making the grounds or the runs for the finals now, and Andreas G and Burnt Custard need to find something, anything at this point, to stop them. They need to find something, because there are Barracudas going around the backyard right now, and there's a Leviathan knocking on the front door, and they have nothing to answer. They don't have any money. The pizza delivery man's here, but you gotta pay, kid. You owe this pizza man money, and he ain't leaving until he gets his 20. And when I mean 20, I mean $200, because that's exactly where Quizpico and Admiral General are on their way towards. The last Leviathan dies. Bombers are gonna try. There's one bomber. They have one bomber, and he dies. He had one job, which was to hide in the hummingbird cluster, and he didn't. He just went, woo, and then got picked off immediately. So, GG getting called, and congratulations to Quizpico and Admiral General. They will be making their way to the finals for $200. Andreas G and Burnt Custard are going to be knocked out at the semifinals in a 2-0 clean sweep to the blue team. So, congratulations to them. Quizpico and Admiral General have done fantastically. So good job, very good job. I was expecting a 2-0 in the other direction, so very good job. I am so glad to be wrong. They have done a fantastic job. They have done a fantastic, absolutely marvelous job. Good for them.